I spent my daughter's college fund on buying a new house after she befriended my cheating ex's mistress and called her mom. Now she's begging me to forgive her. I'm 44 years old. I have an 18-year-old daughter, Mia, and she's supposed to start college in a couple of months. I'm currently in the middle of a divorce from Jonathan, 45, whom I was married to for 20 years. He cheated on me with his secretary, Alyssa, 34. Their affair lasted nearly a year before she finally confessed a couple of months ago. I filed for divorce as soon as he told me everything and moved out. I've been staying at a friend's house ever since. I expected Mia to take my side, since it's obvious I'm the victim here. But she somehow chose her father's. A week into the divorce, I tried to talk to her. She hadn't even asked where I was the day Jonathan confessed to the affair. She wasn't home then, and I left the same day, so I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. I waited for her to message me, to ask where I was, but she never did. After nearly a week, I messaged her first and told her I left her father because of the affair. She replied that she already knew but didn't care much because it wasn't her business. That struck me as strange, and I started to think I made a mistake by letting Jonathan speak to her first. That meant he was controlling the narrative and could feed her any nonsense about our marriage and relationship. Of course, she'd take his side then. I tried many times to talk to Mia, to share my side, but it turned out Jonathan had told her the truth. And even then, she sided with him. It felt insane to me, but Mia is still my daughter, so I kept trying. I made effort after effort to spend time with her despite the divorce and my job. She agreed to meet with me once in a blue moon, and I tried to make it special. But even during those rare meetings, she was cold, glued to her phone. In the past couple of weeks, she stopped replying to my messages altogether and completely ignored me. Then about a week ago, I saw her Instagram post. She was hugging Alyssa and had captioned the photo, "Mom." I felt awful. I was not only losing my husband, but apparently also my daughter, to the same woman. That post was the last straw. I snapped. I called Mia, and when she didn't answer the first time, I completely lost it and called her 17 more times until she finally picked up. She sounded annoyed, but I didn't care about her tone. I immediately demanded an explanation about the post and the caption. She told me it was none of my business and that I shouldn't be stalking her account, which is absurd since her profile is public and I'm literally her biological mother. I told her she was being cruel, siding with Jonathan despite his betrayal and now acting like his mistress is her real mom, while ignoring me, the one who gave birth to and raised her. Mia said she didn't owe me anything and that if it hurt me so much, she would just block me so I couldn't see her posts anymore. She said what's done is done and that instead of whining, I should focus on my future, like she is by building relationships with her new family. Then she hung up and actually blocked me. That hit me hard. Mia and I, like any mother and daughter, had our conflicts, but I never imagined she'd stab me in the back like that. We had been fairly close until she started gravitating more toward Jonathan over the last couple of years. But I always believed she loved us both equally. That call proved otherwise, and it crushed me. I think I cried for an hour after she hung up. I couldn't believe my little girl did that to me. But once I was done crying, I decided I wouldn't let anyone walk all over me anymore. I wouldn't sit around and suffer for the rest of my life. So I took Mia's advice and did something crazy. For years, I had been saving money for her college. Jonathan and I agreed to split the costs and each saved our part in separate bank accounts. The rule was, the money was untouchable. But I said screw it, and spent the money on a house I've dreamed of buying. For the past couple of years, I had been eyeing this beautiful home in a very nice neighborhood, but couldn't buy it because Jonathan didn't want to leave our old house, and Mia didn't want to move away from her friends. But once I realized how ungrateful Mia was, I knew that the sooner I accepted it, the better it would be for me. I contacted the real estate agent handling the house and offered the entire college fund, plus a bit more from my savings, to buy it. And I sealed the deal. I'm supposed to move in by the end of the month. So I took pictures of the house and posted them online to show the world I'm not sitting around crying over things beyond my control. I uploaded a photo to my profile, and apparently one of Jonathan's relatives forwarded the post to him. A few days ago, he messaged me, asking how I could afford the house, since the last time we talked about it. I said I couldn't. I didn't care what he thought of me and told him outright that I used Mia's college fund, and I don't regret it one bit. He exploded, called me an irresponsible mother, and said I had no right to do that to our daughter. He accused me of being petty and jealous just because Mia gets along with Alyssa, and hinted that I was punishing Mia for not turning on him and choosing my side. But none of that was true. I did it because I finally felt like I had the right to, and I didn't need to chase after a daughter who clearly had other people to care for her now. From the way she acted, it was obvious she preferred them over me, so she didn't need me anymore. And if she didn't need me, she didn't need my money either. He had no response to that. I ended the call. But it wasn't over, because I still had to deal with Mia. About an hour after my call with Jonathan, Mia called me. She was a wreck, sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. She kept asking, "How could you do this to me? I always put you first, above everyone else." It was petty. But I asked her, did she put me first when she blocked me just because I was upset that she called Alyssa mom? She said it meant nothing, just a sweet gesture to help Alyssa feel more comfortable in the new family since Jonathan wanted a future with her regardless of the past. She said she just wanted to balance her old family and new one without losing either. She told me she didn't expect me to be so hostile toward her. I told her I could say the same. She was the one who turned her back on me first, even though I was the one who had been betrayed. She kept crying, and then said she never thought her own mother would take revenge like this. That made me truly feel bad, especially when she started hiccuping mid-sob. She only did that when she was really shattered. I hadn't heard her cry like that since she was a little girl. That's when I realized she was truly heartbroken, and maybe I really did go too far. She said she regretted what she did and hung up, but I still can't get it out of my head. I honestly don't know if I went overboard or if I was justified. So, was I wrong for spending my daughter's college fund on a new house after she called her father's mistress mom? Update 2. I can't forgive my daughter, and the money has already been spent, so I don't understand why she keeps bothering me every other day. But Mia decided she would keep texting me every 2 days to ask if I had changed my mind. I ignored her for several days, but it's been almost a week and she's still at it. Today I finally decided to respond. I told her the money was already spent and I couldn't get it back. Besides, she made it clear what her priorities were. It felt unfair, first to treat me like that and then expect me to still pay for her college. If she decided to call someone else mom, maybe that mom should help cover her tuition. That would make a lot more sense. Mia got angry and replied that it was just a post, and I shouldn't have taken it so seriously. But to me, it wasn't just a post. It was a slap in the face. Jonathan chose that woman over me, and now even my own daughter was taking their side. She's old enough to understand right from wrong. I honestly don't understand why she chose them over me. I see only two options. Either she genuinely doesn't think they did anything wrong, which says a lot about her morals, or she knows something I don't, and they're giving her something I can't. Either way, she wasn't on my side and didn't support me, and that hurt more than anything. I wrote all of this to Mia. The only thing she replied to this long, emotional message was that it was time for me to let it go. I was so disappointed I turned off all notifications from her and archived the chat. I couldn't bring myself to block her. After all, she's still my daughter. But if she keeps testing my patience, I might change my mind. Update 3. It's been 2 weeks since I last talked to my daughter. Today, Jonathan and Mia ambushed me right outside my office. I was just about to leave work and go to lunch when I saw Jonathan's car parked across the street. They were both leaning on the hood, waiting for me to come out. I decided to ignore them and just walk past, but they came up to me and said I owed them an explanation. After everything that had already been said, I didn't understand what exactly they still didn't get. I told them to back off, but as always, that didn't work. Mia started sulking and said that if not for Jonathan, then at least for her I should explain myself. I decided it was time to end this once and for all. I told them to follow me to the nearest restaurant. As soon as we sat down, I immediately started talking, not giving them the slightest chance to interrupt me, because I didn't care about their side of the story at all. I said that even though Jonathan and I had been together for almost 23 years, we were getting divorced because he cheated on me. And instead of showing any sympathy, Mia chose to kiss up to his mistress and do everything to make me feel even worse, as if the betrayal and divorce weren't painful enough. I told her straight to her face that after everything that had happened, I simply couldn't consider her my daughter anymore. If she truly were my daughter, she would never have said or done the things she did. Her behavior disgusted me to the core, and I no longer wanted anything to do with either of them. They were all immoral, spineless, and just plain repulsive. I told Mia that I was only still talking to her because she was technically my daughter. But if I were a stronger, tougher woman, I would have cut someone like her out of my life a long time ago after that post. She was just lucky to still have a chance to talk to me at all. Not everyone would be given such a chance. When I finished, I saw tears in Mia's eyes and realized she was about to cry. So I quickly grabbed my burrito, paid the bill, and left. I said a lot, but seeing her cry was still hard. I didn't want to look weak, so I just walked away without saying another word. Since then, none of them have contacted me, and I seriously doubt they ever will. And if they do, I doubt they'll bring up the college fund again. I think I made it very clear that it's already been spent, so they shouldn't have any more questions about it. In a few days, I'll still have to meet with Jonathan to finalize the divorce terms, so unfortunately, I'll have to see him again. As for my relationship with Mia, I don't know. But today, she looked genuinely upset. I'm not sure what exactly made her cry, but I do know one thing. What I said today definitely hit her. Update 4. It's been a month since I last saw my daughter, and I've almost come to terms with the fact that I might never see her again. That made me sad, but I accepted it. There was nothing I could change. Jonathan also stopped stalling the divorce negotiations. Maybe what I said in the restaurant got to him too. I realized that when he first told me about Alicia, I didn't even throw a tantrum. I just quietly walked away. I guess that's why he never really felt guilty, because I never showed just how hurt and angry I was. Not until that day at the restaurant. As for Mia, we hadn't spoken for a whole month. And as I said, I really believed I might never see her again. In a couple of weeks, she's supposed to leave for college, and I kept going through old photo albums from her childhood because I felt like I should have been there when she left. I kept thinking that now Alicia would be the one seeing her, off instead of me, and that thought hurt a lot. But there was nothing I could do about it. 3 days ago, I received a letter from Mia. It was very emotional. She apologized for her behavior and admitted that she tried to be nice to Alicia because Jonathan promised to buy her a car if she was nice to her and let her rent an apartment with her friends in her second year. She just didn't know how to do all that without hurting me. She knew that if she stayed on good terms with me, I'd ask why she was getting so close with Alicia, and she didn't want that. So she started to pull away, hoping that once she got the car, she could reconnect with me. Now, she says she realizes that none of that was worth ruining our relationship and regrets every choice she made. She wrote that she really wants me to come see her off to college, and even gave me the date and time. I haven't decided if I'll go. After all, she hurt me just for a car and to hang out with her friends. I understand why that was important to her. And I was once her age too. But I would never have hurt someone I loved for something so trivial. And she did. She made that choice consciously, for something so small. So I'm not sure I can forgive her so quickly. But at least she apologized. That's something. I haven't replied to her letter yet because I still don't know what to say. Honestly, I don't think a car or an apartment justifies her behavior. But I miss her terribly. I really want our relationship to be what it once was, or at least try to fix it. Update 5. Hey everyone! Thank you so much for following my story and for all your comments and messages. Mia and I have finally started working on our relationship. She's leaving for college in a few days, and yesterday I finally replied to her letter. She wrote that she made me feel awful, like I failed as a mother, and she knows it'll take time for me to heal. But I just couldn't keep pushing her away, because she's my only daughter. Some people might think I'm weak or a pushover, but honestly, there's been enough punishment and revenge in our family already, and I just can't keep living with so much hate inside me. I chose to make things right, not out of duty or obligation, but because I truly wanted to. I don't think I could have forgiven her if I weren't her mother, but I am. And maybe, just this once, I can turn a blind eye to what she did if she promises never to do anything like that again, to me or to anyone else who loves her. Then we called and had a real, honest conversation about everything. We both cried. Maybe we needed that emotional release. Mia promised that her behavior would never happen again, and that nothing is more important to her now than fixing our bond. We decided to try online therapy. We've been through a lot, and without professional help, it'll be hard to get through it all. She also asked her father to stay home because she wants me to take her to campus and help her settle in. That way she'll have time with me and a chance to talk before she leaves. Jonathan and Alicia were, to put it mildly, disappointed that she didn't want to see them during that moment. But Mia was absolutely certain about who she wanted by her side, and I'm glad it was me. I can't say everything's fine now, but with enough time and effort, I think we can rebuild our relationship. I really hope we can.